Hello and welcome to the Beacon of Light podcast tonight. Tonight we have a very special, amazing guest. She's come from very far. And before we start talking to her, we're going to jump into this. I'm April Tribe Juke. Welcome to the Beacon of Light podcast. I believe we are all made with light, and light is hope. This podcast brings authors who write stories of hope to all of you. Your journey to be inspired and amplified by these stories starts now. And we're back. Well, welcome everyone for this evening. And we have Janna. Did I say it right?
Janna.
Janna. Okay. Well, welcome. She has quite the story to share. So let's have you go ahead and start and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Starting. As a human or as a professional?
Whichever way.
As a human, I'm okay. Mama did a good job, I think. I hope. Obviously, she didn't make me too modest, but everybody needs to know their value. So, about myself. I came from the country that was called, time ago, Soviet Union. Soviet Union, 15 republics, united in one country. I came from Moldova. In spite of that, my native language is Russian. I left the Soviet Union with my mom and my daughter when the country was about to fall apart. I was teaching at a college Russian language and literature, and when I came to the United States, I received another master in applied behavioral science. Later on, I taught conflict resolution at the university, and did many interesting things related to conflict resolution. Later on, I created a company that is called Life-Spark. And the company is involved in life coaching and leadership training. This is what I love.
That's amazing. The whole concept of leaving a place where there was probably a lot of oppression, where your voice was not really being able to become a leadership or in any kind of leadership position unless it was something that they needed or wanted. And so to arrive here with such freedoms, what do you like to train? Like, how do you like to train your leaderships? What is all that about?
So time ago, I was training on emotional intelligence, problem solving. Later on, I am concentrating on conflict resolution. Recently, I received, how's it called? Trademark on my conflict resolution. It is called We Win Win. I was so happy to get it. And listening skills that are so important. Listening skills, conflict resolution, and goal setting. These are my favorites.
Wow. Things we really need today. I would dare say there are many leaders in many different realms that could come and use your course and improve greatly on their listening skills and their leadership skills and their conflict resolution lack of skills. So yes, I highly recommend you to go and teach those leaders currently. I think that would be fantastic.
This is what I do.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I wanted to ask you, you have a book, is that correct?
That's true.
Awesome. And this book is called Love is Never Past Tense. So tell us a little bit about why you wrote this book.
About why I wrote the book. Okay, can I use how instead of why?
Sure.
Okay. So Recently, I realized that I can write only when I'm emotional. And when I'm emotional, I'm coming home, I take a pen. I like personal connection to the paper. I take a pen, like I was taught at school, and write. I was writing short stories, and the pile was becoming bigger and bigger. And finally, when it became like that, I thought, this goodness shouldn't be lost. And I decided to compile it in a book. What was happening with the book? The book was written in Russian, and I had to translate it. So the book is translated with Russian accent. And I had to edit it. And numerous editors were helping me editing the book. And I remember such picture. An editor is sitting near the computer. The Russian material is on my lap. And I'm watching every single sentence, not to keep the juice of the Russian language, to make it right in English, and to make it authentic.
Boy, that is such a challenge with any kind of interpretation or translation because how varied our languages are. So, way to go on watching sentence by sentence. That's a really powerful and
It,
dedicated author.
that's true. It was more difficult than to write. So what happens after? We need a cover. And I have no idea where to get a cover. I called all my friends all over the world. And a friend of mine, a doctor, who lived in Crimea, met someone at the beach who took a picture of a boat with a couple. Behind them, you can see the sea. So he sent me this picture. I said, I love it. He exchanged for two bottles of vodka, got the picture, got the permission to make a cover of it. And this cover was used for the first edition. What was happening after that? People started telling me that blue cover is not sellable. And I started looking for someone else who would do a cover. Found the person in Australia. He did this cover that I just showed you. This one. This one. And I liked it. And then someone did a cover for the ebook. So they're different. The ebook cover and hard copy are different. So this was the second edition. Then what's happening after? I had a seminar, 3-day seminar in Philadelphia. The printers, yes, the book was published by LifeSpark, by my company. And I'm flying from Philadelphia after 3-day seminar. I should change the airplanes in Nebraska, in Omaha. Next to me is sitting a guy. He told me that he graduated from Yale, very smart, dropped a couple of phrases. I thought, oh my gosh, he is so smart. And I'm looking at the books, flipping the pages, see everything is right here, everything is right here. And he asked me, what's going on? What are you doing? And I told him what I just shared with you. He said, oh, let me see the book. I gave him the book. And he returned it to me when we landed in Nebraska. And he said, here is your book, here is my cover. When the book is out there, please let me know, I want to buy it. I was so pleased that someone liked my book, nobody read it yet. And I said, no, you don't need to buy, I will send it to you. Guess what? I sent him the book. 2 months later, the Jewish Federation from Nebraska invited me and asked me to ship them 200 books. Can you believe it?
200 books.
200 books.
Amazing.
I had the presentation, they put in the audience 300 people approximately. I was so happy, and I thought, Janna, you are okay? Moving forward. Okay, and they put my face there in the newspaper, the front page. I thought, are you guys talking about me or someone else?
That's fantastic.
Did I tell
Why
you
did they need the
about
200 books? What did they use them for?
they were? I was signing them. They bought it. They bought them.
That's amazing. And so, what was the response after other people had started to read the book?
Um, they were saying they love it. They had a lot of questions, and and some were saying, I want to be like you. I was even embarrassed. I didn't know what to do with myself. The book is it's a novel based on a true story. It's a second chance romance and suspense romance. Why suspense? Because they described moments that are so scary that not many people, thank God, are going through. But so here I am. I made through everything, and I did mention this. Also, I had a trouble choosing the names for the heroes. So once again, I called to my friends all over the world, talked to my friend in Israel, and I told her, look, I need for this woman a strong name. I don't know any other name like Janna who would be that strong. First, I wanted to call her Edith, and then it didn't feel right. So my friend said, are you kidding me? Nobody gives their names. You know, it's a novel. I gave my name.
Awesome. That is fantastic. It is a strong name. That is
It is,
great.
because she's going through such difficulties. If you'd like, I can share
Yes, please.
one of those. So, oh yes, also I found 2 years later, I found a narrator in UK, a lady who used to live in California and who is recording with absolutely wonderful voice. And she is recording one book after another. So she recorded mine.
Wonderful.
Now, okay, here is the story. As I mentioned at the very beginning, the love story is the love story. The love story is also very unusual. Okay, it's a passionate romance on a beautiful Black Sea beach, leads to a hasty marriage, a quick divorce, and inevitable if only. The Soviet Union fades around them, sending their comfortable lives into chaos. They both are going through peril, and she decides to leave the country to immigrate, and he stays there. So you are able to see what was going in the Soviet Union when it fell apart, and you are able to see how a woman is struggling carrying out her child and her mother into a foreign place, who lives, actually, I didn't mention this, Soviet Union, they were exchanging then for those who are living $126. So if you want, you stay. If you want, you go. So you leave behind your friends, your home, your cars, everything, your streets, your sky, and you go. And I don't remember, you and I talked about it behind the scenes already when the camera was on, that everybody has difficulties in their life. I don't think there is a person whose life is just smooth.
I agree with you there. Everybody has challenges, and that's just the life part. So, with your coaching and with this book, and seeing how this fictional character, through real events, gets through the struggle, it's really inspiring. And I just think that that is so awesome to connect with that and to help others feel that they're not the only one going through challenges. So, with your book, Love is Past Tense, how did you
Never
come
past
up
tense.
with the title?
Say again?
How did you come up with the title of your book?
I have no idea. It just struck me. It something came from the guy upstairs, from universe. I don't know. It just came.
It's awesome. It's such an unusual title because it makes you question, what do you mean? Love is past tense. Wait, what does that mean? And so the curiosity is right there. And I know that just starts to crack open books to see, well, what is this?
This is in the book, and when you read the book, you do understand what I mean by the name of the book.
Awesome. I hope you guys are listening to this and wanting to know about this love story, this adventure, this all of the things that can really impact us as humanity. We really have the challenges in life, and yet you're not robotic about it. There's still things that you hope for and desire. And I know you mentioned only having $126 in your pocket and leaving everything else behind. What was that like to start with so little?
Natural. When you want to survive, we got help from the community here. Jewish community helped us significantly. And it was when you do something, when you have vision and you follow it, you can reach everything you want. And people often look at the obstacles, not at opportunities. And if they see the opportunities, they can manage everything they want.
I love that. When you just stop focusing on all of the challenges and find the opportunities, you can do so much more. You can have the things that you want. You're an author, you're a coach, you have immigrated from a different country here to freedoms that now on more and more opportunities are probably there. It probably becomes like, well, what do I want today? I could pick this, I could pick that, I could pick this. There's always a element of hard work with, and I love how the community supported you. And with that networking, right? That connection piece, it's vital to success.
Yes, it is. At the beginning, yes, it was difficult. I came with the English that I loved from childhood. I studied it just because, without any reason. But still, you always get, not always, often get in trouble. I remember when we came first. I went. I don't know if you had Lazarus store, Macy's. It was Lazarus before. And I came to the store. I'm coming to the store. Here is a glassy door. And I see on the door with big letters, welcome. So I welcomed. Okay. I was shopping a little bit. Then I came back. I came back to the same door. And I thought, oh my gosh. They forgot to say welcome out. Welcome in. It was, and they forgot welcome out. In such little troubles you get all the time at the beginning. But sure, there were many more difficulties. You cannot overcome everything that you want.
Yeah, the opportunities are really just amazing. When let me talk about you were showing me another book before we started, going live. Tell us a little bit about that story too.
Okay. So as I said, so my book is Second Chance Romance, love story, but there is a part that devoted to my exodus from the Soviet Union. This what happened. you cannot, I still speak about Soviet Union in the present tense like it exists now. You cannot get out of the Soviet Union without exit visa. To obtain exit visa, you need to have an invitation from someone from other country, preferably relative. Okay? It was 1989. So I was thinking, how can I get this visa? And I was sure that I can get some idea and follow it. And I flew to Moscow. I came here with Israeli visa. At that time, Soviet Union did not have friendly relationship with Israel, and Israeli embassy was staying in Dutch embassy. And as I said earlier, I was teaching at a college. I waited until my students will go for vacation after January 1st. January 2nd, I was in the airplane. I came to the Dutch embassy and saw people who are waiting to come in. So my friend took me to her house, and next morning, I was back to the embassy. There are only men surrounding this embassy. One of them approached me and he asked, are you going inside? I said, I would like to, but I don't have exit visa. He said, you won't be able to do this. Then I talked to another man, and that man told me, I'm staying here already 2 years. 2 years. And I didn't know anyone who would get in. I was so scared. I was scared to go back home because what would be facing us, hunger, war, who knows. So, and that second man told me that the consul goes out for lunch at 1:30. Okay, it's cold outside, it's January, it's Moscow. And I was waiting too. Suddenly the crowd started moving. It was 1:30, and I realized that he came out with his bodyguard. He came out, everybody surrounded him. And I was thinking, what should I do? What should I do? I won't reach him. No. I need to help my child. I need to help my mom. I need to help myself. And I started moving through the crowd. And he was about to leave, and I said, can you please wait a second? He stopped. He was surprised to see a woman. And he said, what can I do for you? I said, I need to talk to you. And he said, talk. But there is a crowd listening to me. And I said, I can't. He said, why? I said, it's cold here. So he said, I'll be back in an hour and a half. Wait for me here. In an hour and a half, he showed back. He came back. He embraced me over the shoulder. His bodyguard was on my side. He took me up to the embassy. And he talked to me. And he said, what do you need? I told him what I needed. Give me the information. I had prepared information for my family and the family of friends. And a couple of months later, I received the invitation. What is interesting, you asked me about the book that I showed you. You know, like on Amazon, you want to buy something, you're looking at a product, at a book or whatever, and some identical product can come close and buy me. And here this book showed up, Envoy to Moscow. And I realized that this is that guy. Can you believe it? I bought this book. What is interesting about it, what I found, that right here, it states, I don't know if you can see that October 1st was the last day to put the visas out that I managed at home with the Russian government to put the visa September 28th. Can you see that?
There it is.
Can you believe it? September 8th was Thursday. Friday, Israeli embassy doesn't work, and then weekend the 1st. I was just the last, one of the last people. You know why? Because I was not afraid of anything, because I had my goal.
So that right there should show so many of you, if you have a goal, she was prepared as well. She just didn't go with a hope and maybe everything will line up. She had done her work with the hope, with the goal, and she got out. Just skin of teeth, right? I mean, it's an amazing story. And then to arrive here and to have a community, the Jewish community, to help and give support, and now as a coach and as a leadership support, and so many different things that Janna does now. And I just hope that this inspires you and gives you an idea that many things are possible. Take advantage of the opportunity, put in the work, and someone above us is knowing, is helping, is trying to guide us in directions that really will benefit not only ourselves but other people. Look at what her gift does now to help so many. She's coaching, she's giving of her service and of her time to bless the lives of other people. There's
Yes.
one thing to get out and then just to focus inward and all about me, but that is not Janna. Janna goes out and helps and changes lives. Is that right?
Yes, people tell me when they're happy, I am flying. I can tell you one funny story. What happened that I became like this? I believe one of those. They want,
Yes,
if we have time.
we have
So
time. Go ahead.
once, back to Soviet Union, winter, cold. I parked my car near the door. I didn't take it to. I did not take it into the garage. And my mom was at that time in my house. I'm taking my daughter in the morning, next morning, to go with her to a swimming pool, to the swimming pool. And my neighbor is waving and shows like this. I can't understand what. Then he approached and he said, "Look at your car in the back." When the economy in the country is bad, the crime goes up. So what I saw there, someone stole the back tires of my car and put the car on the bricks. Imagine what would have happened. What would have happened if we would gotten in the car? So my mom, who knew everything, who heard every my step, shows out the window and she said, "What's going on?" And I explained her. And I said, "Mom," she said, "Put the spare tire. Ask someone to put the spare tire." And I said, "Mom, it will be only 3 tires." And she said, "Janna, if you want it, you do it." On 3 tires. And this, "if you want it, you do it," is in my head.
Great mantra. Great mantra. That is something really successful. When you want it, you do it. And then the doing, the action happens. And then the action, it takes the faith. And you might not know every step possible or what could be beyond. But one thing's for sure, if you sit, nothing's happening.
It's very true.
Very, very true. We have some great comments here tonight. You bring hope and light into my life. Thank you, Abby. And she also mentions that thank you for sharing such a great story to this world. It has such amazing details. And I guess I'm finished asking the questions, but she is excited about this. You have brought her some hope and light
I'm
tonight.
glad.
And we are excited to see how many more this can touch out there. So, Janna, where can we get this book? Is it on Amazon?
The book is on Amazon. It is hardcover. It is soft cover. For some reason, they still keep that blue book, but I'm assuming that someone bought them in advance and selling them. There is an audiobook as well. Okay.
And I have listened to a few pieces of the sample from the audiobook. I mean, the person you have who's reading it is fantastic.
Isn't she?
Yes, it just pulls the story right along. So I highly recommend it. It's definitely a love romance, a lot with some great adventure in it. So she really understands how to build character, how to bring things forward, but with hope and with light. And that is fantastic. So before we close everything off, Janna, is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience tonight?
So there is, yes, there are two sequels also on the trilogy Love is Never Past Tense. But this one for me is important because my Exodus is there. To share with the audience, this is what comes from my soul. And this can change, it depends on the circumstances. But this one, okay, it is so important to have love, not fear in your heart. When you have love, you are strong to everything, nature, your faith, kids, neighbors. Don't carry anger. It is very important to know that you can make it. Think about these 3 tires. And it is very important to have good listening skills.
I agree. Thank you so much, Janna. And I hope that as people have watched this tonight, they are inspired. They go out and grab your book and also contact you for coaching and giving good supports that way.
Anytime.
Thank you for being a part of the Beacon of Light podcast tonight. And we hope that all of you will return again next week at the same time, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, and we will speak with another author. Thank you, Janna, for everything tonight.
Thank you, and thank you for having me here.
You bet.